Thank you. All right, it's great to meet you guys. So let's get started. As Pedro said, my name is Francisco Narvaez. You can call me Fran. I'm from Venezuela. I moved to Spain 15 years ago. I guess it's in Venezuela in the newspaper. And I'm a software engineer. I studied here a master in telematics, and then I shifted my professional career towards program management, which is more about processes, project management, let's say, and teams in the tech industry. And I have worked for Oracle, Gartner, and currently I'm working for Santander. There's my LinkedIn in case you wanna add me, if you find it my talk interesting. And let's get started with the agenda. So for today, I'd like to talk to you guys first about the evolution of remote work, what I have seen in my perspective throughout these years, about the past over 10 years, 10, 12 years. Then we're gonna talk about the AI assistants, which I'm sure all of you are familiar with. And then we're gonna be talking about some remote working tools. Tools that you're probably going to be seeing in your professional life, or you already have experience with them. We'll be talking about them. Then I'll show you what a typical workflow looks like with these tools. Then we're gonna have some additional Q&A time in case, as Pedro said, you can interrupt at any time and ask anything, but if you have any other questions, then we can discuss them there. And then you're gonna have a group activity. So, all clear? Let's get started. All right, so let's talk about the evolution of remote work, what I have seen. First of all, between about 10 years ago, between 2014 and 2017, was pretty much what an office looked like. What do you think was the remote working situation back then? Yes?
Sporadic, just in a few necessary cases, but not like on a daily basis. So just in case you need to connect people that are far away, and there's no other way to do that, basically.
Yes? Sarah?
More like exceptions, yeah. Before.
Yes. And not only exceptions, but there was another limitation. First, you had like this physical tools such as this board that you can see behind, and people working with post-its. But then you usually connected to your machine that was at the office. So from home, you had your machine working at the office, and then you connect through a VPN and work there. So it wasn't as remote work as what we know now. So in person was mandatory. You also had a special room for video conference for, as you said, connecting with people that were in other cities or someone who wasn't present at the time. And you had your software, let's say, in your computer running there at the office, and you connect to them. Now, between 2018 and 2020, how do you think it changed?
Well, remote work sort of became mandatory in itself, I guess, towards the end of that period because of COVID. But even so, I think it was becoming more and more used due to like just it was just easier to connect with people far away and even to work with more distance.
That's correct. There were some things that led us there. Daniel?
No.
Ah. Right. So the sorry.
I was just
This,
wondering
yeah.
that is it that tools got better but the attitudes didn't change until COVID?
Yes, those got better, but this is pre-COVID.
Yeah,
Pre-COVID,
that's my
but
point, that attitudes were still the same, and I think a lot of this, like even though they were more enabled, they were still not doing it as a necessity. And
exactly. That precisely. So you had first your hardware got better. You had laptops whenever you start working at a place to assign you a laptop. And then you also had more software in the cloud, so you could then connect to it. And then it was not that uncommon to see 1 or 2 days per month that you could work from home. It wasn't a rule, but it was already happening a bit. Luckily, because then we had this time, 2020 to 2022. So I guess we all know what it was like there. So pandemic. So then you had lots of people working from anywhere. But this also led to some changes at the company. So people, leaders of companies started thinking about the idea of having teams that were located in different places. For instance, you could have half of your team located in India and the other half in Spain or in the US. And this started becoming more of a common situation since everybody was from home anyway. So this led to the appearance of co-working spaces and although you have seen now many people moving actually from from city to city. I was living in Barcelona and moved to Madrid because of that. So this did happen a lot during these years. But then we have here 2020 to 2024. What do you think happened? We're talking about more recent times where some of you even might have some working experience. So what was the situation regarding work? Yes.
I mean, that's just an example, but nowadays also working from the office has become sort of smart working because, like, for example, in my experience, I would do a lot of smart working from the office as well. So that's just an example, but yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Sarah?
Yeah, and overall, it's just high acceptance now, and usually people do like home office 2 or 3 times a week.
Exactly, that's actually 2 or 3 times a week. It's not the same as what it was before. Yes?
Yeah, I was going to say the same. Like
Yeah.
in my experience, 50-50.
Exactly. 2 or 3 days more of a hybrid situation. So you're gonna have, you are having now back to the office policies. And in order also to attract the people to go back to the office, we're having also several social activities to make sure that people go there, I don't know, dinners or after work activities, beers, whatever. Now, from 2024 until now, what is it looking like? You might think it's the same, but yes.
Amongst a lot of other things, I think one of the things is also the fact that people in my generation can't envision fully on-site work now. Like, for the most part, it's a very big preference, the so-called flexibility, to have the opportunity to like work hybrid, even if it's like few days a week versus like entirely.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Like when I entered the workforce, I was like, I'm just not gonna apply to some place that asks me to come 5 days a week or like.
Exactly, but it is happening. That
Yeah,
there are
it's-
companies that are requiring you to be there every day. But yeah, absolutely. What else has changed in these 2 years regarding work and the work that you do every day when you go to the office? Yes?
I have the feeling that after COVID, everyone was taking this remote job like an opportunity and giving more flexibility to families. And then they realized that actually people were not necessarily more efficient when they were working at home. So they really wanted them to come back to the office. And I remember that there was a turning point when I think it started with Amazon, or I don't remember which big companies who were like, okay, we're stopping that remote job policy and we want everyone to be back because it's like it's not efficient anymore. And so
Yeah, I remember
Now-
Twitter was one of the first ones as well. But Amazon also has, everyone has to work from there as well. And there are also 2 big things that are happening now. One of them, I guess you can guess it easily. How has your studying changed? Yes.
I was going to say another big phenomenon is also digital nomads and
Yes.
freelancers, and like I think it has been more. It became easier and more democratized.
Yes, but there are also 2 things that are happening at the workplace now. You know, they're related to remote work or kind of, yes. One of them, of course, is AI. And then the other one is there have been cost cutting. So, not so many events, not so much hiring. And now also, like, many companies are really thinking it twice if should I hire 10 people or should I just pay for an AI and hire 2? So this is the current situation. And starting the end of last year, agents, AI agents. Is anybody familiar with AI agents? You know what it is? 'Cause I guess everybody's familiar with AI. But what are agents? Sure, you've heard about them. So, yes. Oh no, I thought you were with your hand. An agent is an AI, but that can deliver a specific task. So as it can even use tools, but it has a task that it will start the task, act on it, and then finalize it and signal you when the task has finished. And this is very useful. We're going to be seeing more about AI agents. So, this we started a topic about AI. Let's talk about it. First, guys, you're all familiar with ChatGPT. What can you tell me about them, their models? What is the current model?
5.2.
Yes, that's correct. 5.2. What's the difference between 4 and 5?
And they're including the agents now, and
True.
I think before there is a recharge option is there. But I don't know now they're including more into agents and everything.
Like
Yes.
specific use case UI, use case chatbots, but they've always been there. But I think that like the agent thing, that it's a very specific use case, and you can keep like and you can organize your work much better and so on.
Yes.
But I'm
Among
probably
other
missing
things,
something
yes,
else.
absolutely. But the big change between 4 and 5 was that back before GPT-5, you had the 4.0 model, which was an AI. You could talk to your chatbot and it would respond. But then you also had the O models, which were the ones that had the thinking process, let's say. Now with GPT-5, everything is in the same model. So depending on your question, it's going to decide if it thinks or not. And you can actually also prompt it. So what I actually encourage you guys is, if you're using ChatGPT, make sure that you select that it thinks. Yes, enable always thinking, because this leads to better results. There have been like in studies about it. Yes.
But it is more resource intensive, so it depends on your query.
Yes, but in general, it will deliver better results. Of course, if you what you're gonna ask is, I don't know, how far am I from the beach or whatever. If it's something simple, then it doesn't require.
But also the speed has gone down a lot. Like the same thing that took 15 minutes would now take like 3 minutes, because it's
Exactly.
getting better
Exactly.
in the thinking mode.
And we can
Yes.
choose the option like we need to interview in like immediate answers, and we can make them like thinking about the more resources and kind of we have the options right now, like that
Ye-
based on has like what kind of answers you want like.
Exactly. Depends on what it is that you want to get, what you want to achieve. Yeah, in general, it will provide a better result. So yeah, you have agents, you have different plans for studies, for companies, and so on. And also, it's very common to have this at companies as your company chatbot. So, for example, a company A has, I don't know, let's say that, I don't know, Nestle has a Nestle chat for all of their employees. It's quite common that Nestle chat that has all of the Nestle information and that you can talk to, that has been approved by the company, it's actually a ChatGPT endpoint. Then we have this one, Gemini. Are you guys familiar with Gemini? What's the latest version and what are you familiar with?
I'm not familiar with the versions, but I've heard it's better for studying.
Yes. We'll
Not
see
better.
about that. Yes, absolutely. There's actually a promotion. I don't know if you guys took it. It was until last year that you would get 1 year free Gemini if you're a student. Might still be going on.
University also has it, but now
So-
they totally banned it.
But yes, Gemini current model is 3.0, which is very, very, very good. It's currently my favorite model. It has a very large context window. What does that allow you to do? Why would you need a large context window? Which means like it can take a lot of data to talk to it. What's that useful for? Yes?
Search on Google.
Yes. large amounts of data, what would you use it for?
See, create pictures. Like you did that one for this slide.
Yes, it says you can create images. It is, but for what I'm talking about here, this large context window is what you can pass it as an input to it. So yes.
This is anecdotal, but I feel like Gemini is like better at even corporate use cases, such as, so if you have an Excel file and if you wanted to like go ahead and format it versus putting it on Copilot, which is actually native to Microsoft, it would work better if you did it on Gemini because it has better processing and it has better.
That's one thing exactly. It can take more complex inputs, and also you can pass it videos. So if you want to search something in a video, you want the summary from a video, Gemini is you go-to model for sure. It also has agents, which are called gems, and we're gonna see a bit more about Notebook LM, which love that tool. Then this one has been in the news lately a lot. Have you heard from this one?
That's French.
French name, but not French.
From a French company?
Uh,
Isn't there like
yeah,
like
Mistral
BBC?
is French,
Um,
but no, Claude. It's not that one, but it's been news. Yes.
It's useful for academic research mainly, and it's like kind of in the third version.
Yeah, fourth already.
Okay.
But yes, academic research and something else. Yes.
In a class, we use that to do a role play.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like the professor does a lot of things. I don't
Okay.
know what, but we could play with that 1 year ago.
Oh, nice. Cool that you guys are very familiar with Claude. Claude is getting very, very popular among coders. For programming, it's the best model there is. So you have, now 4.5, you have three models, the large one, the medium one, the small one. This is very typical from for all of the AI labs to have a larger model, a medium one, and then a small one. So the larger one, of course, gives you the best results, but it's more expensive. So something to take into account. Then they have agents. They have something called MCPs. Have you heard about MCPs? MCPs is really cool. A technology that they define is getting now implemented for all of the AI chatbots, which allow your chat to connect to tools. So this also aligns with the agents. If you want an agent to send an email every day, then by using MCP, you can connect to your email server, and by programming an agent telling it to every day send a newsletter, then it can by itself every day go there and write your newsletter and even send it. Now there are two things that have been coming up lately, which are Claude Code and Cowork. They are very powerful for exactly this, for agents, and you can run them in your computer and you can let it code all night, and it will spin an agent that is the programmer, another one that does the QA part, another one that verifies that everything was delivered correctly. So Claude is getting very, very powerful lately. So I encourage you to keep an eye on it. And then finally, I think you're all familiar with this one as well?
no.
Yes?
That's Twitter's AI.
Yes, exactly, Grok. Now, Grok has become also very powerful. They have this, it has also Grok 4, the fast one, and the heavy one has this thing that for very hard tasks, it creates a bunch of agents that help in finding and figuring out this task. So for very complex research, Grok 4 is very, very good. And I think the future of AI bots is going to be like that, to create a bunch of agents that do the research of whatever it is that you're asking to. And it will be powering the XFeed shortly. Now we're going to talk about a couple of other ones. This one, are you familiar with it? You probably interact with it every day, even if you don't want to, but it's there looking at you.
See the one in WhatsApp?
Yeah,
Basically
the one in
picture.
WhatsApp and in Instagram, and it's there. Now this one, they also have 3 models. The big one was getting very high expectation, but in the end it wasn't released because a new model came out that was better than this one. In all regards, do you know which one it is? New model open source that came up and everybody was shocked about it. Yes.
Could be wrong. Is it Hugging Face again?
Hugging Face has all the models.
I don't remember.
Well, they do have one model, but no. Yes, DeepSeek. DeepSeek came out and it destroyed all of the meta charts that they wanted to prove, and then Meta decided to cancel it. And I don't know what Meta is going to do with their AI, but you have DeepSeek. That's very low cost. It's open source. You can download it, use it. You can adapt it. Yes, there has been some concerns about it being biased, which is true. It does have a bias, but every model has a bias. And here, the fact that this one is open source and you can put it in your system, that allows you to prompt it, work on it, and actually overcome the bias easier than with other models that we usually use. So it's a very good option. I like DeepSeek. And then these are other 2 models, very small ones, but very good ones and a lot cheaper. Both from China, actually. Kimi K2 and Quen, which is from the people from AliExpress. And they're also very, very good models for video, images, and in general, and very cheap. Now, I'm going to show you a video. Oh no, first, let's talk about AI generation. Yes, image generation. Are you familiar with these ones? So, Midjourney, Stable Diffusion, and the last one is called Flux. They have now released Flux 2, which is amazing for generating images. But I'm sure you know this one, the image generator from ChatGPT. Have you tried it?
Yes.
What's so good about it? Why would you say, yeah, this one's good? Why would you use it?
I guess it's also easier because ChatGPT does a lot of other things than just AI image generation, so it's just on one single app. And when you ask the right prompt, you have almost all the time the right image or something that works for what you want. So
Yes, there's something additional that this model did, but I think yeah, it's very aligned with what you're saying. Just consistency. So it's very good at keeping your face if you want to use it for seeing yourself with other clothes, or if you are using models image for generating images for video games, for commercials, so things like that. It's very, very good. So you can see this me and it looks like me, so it's pretty good. And then you have this one. You know this one?
Google. Banana.
Yes, exactly. Google's Nano Banana. Nano Banana was the name given to it when they were testing it. All of the models have a name. The new one from ChatGPT is actually called Garlic. So yeah, this one, the name was very sticky and it remained. So this one, the latest one is Nano Banana Pro. You can decide which one is more realistic or keeps better the consistency. I here like the ChatGPT one better, but it's a matter of you trying it. So now, yes, I want to play this.
Urgent message from police. They're looking for a missing dad.
The girl only had a drawing of her father. She didn't have a photo, just this drawing of her.
An update from police.
Officers have now located the father just minutes ago.
So this was the first time that I had no idea this was an AI generated video. It took me like after 2 days or something when I saw that it was AI. I was sure this was real. So let's be prepared for what's coming. So in general, for AI video generation, we have Google's VO3.
I am a puppet for anyone who can afford me.
How will you know who to trust?
Boomers will believe anything I say.
I will sell you everything.
Every business will use me. Evil will abuse me.
I can be whoever you want me to be.
I am as real as you make me.
I'm just words some guy is typing to get a point across.
The old internet is dead. Oh!
I am your new best friend.
So one thing that VO3 did, it was the first model that incorporated voice with the video. And as you can see it there, it's pretty cool. And then, I guess you guys are familiar with Sora as well. Sora 2, it also incorporated video, audio with the video.
Staying 350,000 Scovilles ready, Michael?
Let's do it.
Ooh, it's burning. But I'm feeling alive. Heat in my heart, got me ready to flip.
Ooh, that's got a kick.
Woo, that's fire.
It's a big step up, right?
Yeah, man. You weren't kidding.
Here we go, last one.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, it's got a kick. Oh man, that is hot. Give it a minute. Oh. This ain't smooth.
So the cool thing that I like from Sora is that it also has consistency with voices from famous people. So you don't get that with VO3. You can create and generate people with voices, but to me the Sora ones are better, as of right now. And here, lastly, I have this example. This is a news feed from Spain. They were displaying that video from a dog stealing a baguette as if it was a real video, and it was AI. So, now that I talked about AI for quite a bit, let's go for the work tools. And the first one that I want to show you is NotebookLM, because NotebookLM is my favorite one. To me, it's the most underrated and best one we have. Have you guys tried NotebookLM? Who has? And what for? Yes.
I use it to make like summaries of readings.
Yes.
Also to create like mental maps for studying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyone else uses NotebookLM?
I think you can also create like quizzes.
Yes.
Like just to prepare
True.
for something.
Yes, you can. Create study guides. You can create documentations. You can create podcasts. You can talk to the podcast. It generates a podcast, and then in the middle of it, you can say, "Hey, I want to ask you a question," and then it answers you. They say, "Oh, we have a phone call." You talk to it, and then it answers what you were just telling it. It's wild. And I can give you a couple of examples from NotebookLMs that I have. For instance, this one, since it's from Google, also you can add here things very seamlessly. So I grabbed a course from cybersecurity and added all the link videos here, and then I generated a study guide. Oh, the slide generation failed. Too bad. It can generate infographics now powered by Nano Banana. Just this one. You also have, yes, your podcast.
Bienvenida y bienvenido a esta exploración detallada. Hoy nos metemos de lleno en la arquitectura de ciberseguridad. Tenemos
and you can talk to it, as I said. You can have quizzes, flashcards, and so on. So it's pretty useful for studying and for analyzing any kind of data, for having resources that you can talk to. So also at companies, it's very nice to have for having documentation regarding processes or product or anything you want. And here, for instance, we can, if I play this one.
PowerPoint. How's Copilot working there?
It's about creation and refinement. Copilot, using GPT-4o, according to the sources, helps generate drafts, improve.
Yes, you can play it.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're tackling a big one, empowering remote work, tools, and best practices. We've got the sources, and we're ready to pull out the core strategy. And look, if you're thinking this is just another rundown of Slack versus, whoa, did someone just break the fourth wall? Let's hear it.
Can you talk about tools in 2026? Oh, sorry. Can you tell me about tools in 2026? Oh, I didn't.
Oh, go for it.
Yes, can you tell me about tools in 2026? I don't know what's going on with the microphone, sorry. Yeah, it's a microphone. It's not connected. But you can tell it to deviate the conversation towards what you want. And it's pretty cool. And I
Great question.
That is fantastic.
You're jumping ahead 2 years.
Okay, let's unpack this a little.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, the sources we have today are actually the foundation for 2026.
We're already seeing the move towards AI agents.
Okay, there you have.
Exactly. The shift is already happening.
Instead of us just talking.
It continued then the conversation talking about 2026, but it's just taking its time. But it's pretty cool. It's, I don't know, to me it feels like black magic. But yeah, so Notebook LM, any questions regarding that or any experiences you can share? All right, then let's jump into a break. I'll give you guys 10 minutes and then we meet here and we'll continue with some more tools. All right, should we continue then?
I think we should.
Yes. All right, so let's run through a series of tools that are being used quite a lot by the industry, especially in tech, but everywhere. And I think it's very nice that you guys have this awareness of these tools, that they have it, because it's highly likely that you will encounter a lot of them. At least you'll work with 2 or 3 of them, or you already have. So let's start with communication and collaboration tools. And we have this one. Do you know this one? Have you worked with this one? No? Doesn't ring a bell? Nothing? You have? No, not. We'll talk about Teams. But yes, this is Slack. Slack is pretty cool. Slack is a chat, as you can see, but it's very easy to create new channels for talking about, I don't know, your project or whatever it is. It's easy to create private chats, public chats, and it has threads, so you can keep everything organized. And that's really nice, because then you don't have to have these long conversations. If you haven't, you have it under a thread. And it also has an AI. It was powered by Claude. I don't know about it right now. And this AI you can talk to, and it summarizes you what has been discussed about and so on. And it can also integrate with other tools that we'll be talking about. So Slack, for sure, and especially if you're going to be working in the tech industry, is a tool that you'll be seeing. And I really recommend it as a group chat for when you're working in a project, because it's very nice. Then this one, yes, you have it. Yes, are you guys familiar with this one? Yeah, I know. But here I'm showing the picture, at least the integration, which is the nice thing from Teams. So Teams is integrated with the other tools from Microsoft, and that's a point. That's something good that they have. But yeah, it's in Microsoft Office suite. So, however, have you tried Copilot in Teams?
It's not very.
Huh?
It's not very useful in personal experience.
What? Let's see if you have.
I would
Yeah.
say it's very useful
Yeah.
using Copilot towards Teams, because
What
it
for?
saves a lot of time sometimes, like not being like changing the window. You can
Exactly. So for the conversation, for the video conferences, it grabs your script, it understands, and it sets up a plan of actions that have been decided during that call. So for that part of Copilot, I really like it.
Okay, caveat to that is that it's not very language friendly.
Ah, probably, likely, yes. I'm sure. I think you have to set up which is the language that you're going to be talking about in the.
Languages are fine, English only workplaces, but then dialects come in. So that's the only caveat. Otherwise, I would definitely say it's very good to organize.
But I've seen, for instance, at my company, most people are from Spain, but what we speak, it's English, but sometimes we switch to Spanish. So I don't know if Copilot is going to be good enough. Exactly. But now, actually, afterwards, they have introduced also agents. Well, we'll be talking about them. Now, this one? Yeah. Sure. Why would you use this one? For which use case would you use Zoom? Yes. Video calls?
I guess the most interesting feature of Zoom was the breakout rooms.
Yes.
So if you have to like meet up as a whole team and then split into different sessions on Zoom.
Exactly. So if you haven't tried it, you probably should try this at the breakout rooms. It's very, very good for having this activities where you can separate people in groups. It also has a feature for polls, which is also really nice. So in the end, depends on what you're going to be using the tool. Well, Zoom is very strong for this and for video conferences. And it also has an AI companion. Of course, all of these tools now have AI. And we have WebEx. Any experience with it? In which regard? Okay.
I think it also had the breakout rooms.
Maybe.
Maybe it had it. And yeah, I don't remember anything particular with
Okay, you? Yes?
I think at the time of COVID, WebEx was the go-to, but Zoom sort of took over and like better and like a leaner version of it. WebEx was getting clunkier, but I've not been following what's like recently. Yeah, around 2020.
Yes. There is a very big use case for WebEx that most companies still use it for, which is for conference when you have like a single speaker and a bunch of attendees. It can handle very large amounts of attendees, and for providing these kinds, for instance, updates, company updates. Company level is very still quite widely used as of right now, because it handles many people connected there. But mostly, as attendees with a main speaker. Now let's talk about document and knowledge management. So, I guess everyone is familiar with this one. So, yes, now lots of cloud stuff also for Microsoft 365. Now you have your monthly subscription. Depending on the subscription, you can also have the Copilot functionalities. Copilot is actually, Microsoft has this partnership with OpenAI, so Copilot should be quite similar to ChatGPT, but it's not. It's not. ChatGPT is better. Copilot tries it, but it's, not that great. But they do have this. And here you can see more of the agents.
Focus on work that really matters with the help of agents. Agents are like expert assistants that help you and your team complete specific tasks. You can start with ready-to-go agents right up here in Microsoft 365 Copilot. Browse for more or create your own. Agents are pre-built to work within a specific set of data, from documents and emails to meetings and websites. That clear focus gives them a superpower to create highly relevant assistance, insights, and even automate work. If you find yourself repeating the same tasks or wishing for help diving deeper into data, agents can be a big help. Imagine a finance agent tailored to a specific set of your company's knowledge and data. You could have it compare costs from different years, generate financial reports, or even automate routine tasks like expense tracking. How about an HR agent that answers new employee questions in a flash? Or can spot gaps based on legal requirements or new company policies. From project management to customer feedback, marketing, and customer support, agents can take busy work off your plate so you can focus more on what matters.
So there you have what agents are doing now at the industry, and it's pretty wild. It started last year, the agents part, and towards the end of the year it was getting very, very strong, and I foresee this 2026 as it being more of a mainstream thing at every workplace pretty much. Any questions? Let's move on to this one. I think you have this one available here, right?
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Depending on the plan that you have access to more or less tools. Actually, if you have the storage Google One plan, you also get access to Gemini, and I recommend it because it's more access to Gemini is pretty cool. I love Gemini. And there is also this tool, NotebookLM, which I showed you guys before. I know you guys don't have access to it here at the university, but I'm sure all of you have a Gmail account. Try it yourself, and you can create some of the notebooks yourself, and it's really recommended. This one. Who is familiar with this one? This is a big one. Nobody has experience with this? This is one of the main tools used by the industry in general, especially the tech industry, in order to have documentation. So that you don't have to have Word documents in a folder and then you go crazy checking it. No, you have here like pages, like wiki pages. You can create spaces where you can create a one page and it can have more children pages or folders and so on, and you can organize all of the documentation that you require. So you can create one space for HR, one space for a team, and so on. And it's very, very good. It has AI integrated to it. It has Rovo, which has agents, and they can do pretty much what we saw at the Microsoft video. So you can create a new agent and tell it, all right, you have this context of the HR space, and then it can answer the questions related to HR. It can also generate more pages automatically. Pretty great. And as I said, it's one of the main tools that is being used for documentation. It's from Atlassian. You'll be hearing more about this company now. Then let's move on to visual facilitation and UX. If you have worked for the software industry, you might be familiar with the following tools. Or even if you haven't, this one. You familiar with it?
Yeah, because in my previous work experience, my colleagues worked with Miro.
All right.
Manage the work as a project manager.
Oh, cool. All right, nice. How did they use it?
In the daily routine, because they scheduled all the activities during the day and of the project.
Okay. Okay, very nice. Nice use case. Who else has used Miro? It's also very nice for visual facilitation and for brainstorming, because this is a whiteboard. You can add here pretty much whatever you want. You can add post-its. You can add tasks, as you were saying, because it also can integrate with other tools. You can add graphics. For group activities, since it's an online tool that you share, so you can have it for coming up with ideas and collaboration, especially. It's a tool very focusing for collaboration with others. Of course, it has AI, like all of them, and then you can have like personas. So you can say, I want to create this AI that it's going to be a designer, and then you ask it what do you think about this design screenshots that I'm putting here? And it will tell you about it. This one? Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow, this really surprised me. Who has experience with Figma?
I think most of us had to use it.
Oh, really?
The seminar.
Oh, interesting. Because then the ones that have used it, what have you used it for?
It was to create an app, like frames for an app.
Yes.
And I remember the first day was so overwhelming, but I was quite impressed that in only a day or two, it was maybe 2 days, the seminar, we delivered something that was quite okay, and actually it was not so confusing as we thought when we opened the Figma for the first time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyone else?
Yeah,
Yes.
I have used for this like based on the client requirements. We have designed the screens of the mobile application, and based on that we pass this Figma models to the developing team, and based on this they are developing prototypes and everything, then going to sprint releases and everything based on the first initial thing is the Figma like we are using for that.
Okay. Very nice. Yes, yes. It's very good for visual work and for designing, for wireframing. And it also, of course, has AI. But this AI is pretty cool because it does autofill. So then you can start with your wireframe and it already can guess like which is the next screen that you want to have, or without the text for making purposes and so on. And it's also quite good for collaboration. Allows more people to interact with the design. Yes.
No, sorry.
And it's widely used. I'm surprised that you guys interacted with it here, and I think it's pretty cool because, as I said, most of these tools are the ones that you're going to be seeing in your professional work life. Then let's move on to project and task management. So about this, we have the first one, Trello. Any of you use Trello? Yes, tell me about Trello. What do you use it for? I mean, what?
In my last internship, they used it to organize the tasks to do in progress, like most urgent and to do like long.
Perfect. Yes. Who else? Trello is pretty cool because it's very flexible. You can decide what each one of the columns is going to be looking like, and you can use it for many activities, not only for organizing your job, which is for example the main one, but if you're planning a trip, then you can also have one column per city that you want to visit, or even one column per day. And then you say, okay, for my Christmas holiday, I have 10 days. So then you can have one column for each one of the days and the activities you want to do. In each column, you can add cards, as you can see there. Each card is a task. Cards have someone that it's assigned to. It can also signal how long it has been there. You can use colors, categories, and so on. And it's, again, very flexible, allows you to use it for pretty much any use case you have regarding any type of projects, personal projects or company projects. It also belongs to Atlassian, the same ones from Confluence as we saw before. It was its own company, was then bought by Atlassian. And it also has this Atlassian AI and their agents. Then, see here you have some other ones, 2 ways of using it. To the left, you can see using it for one column for each day of the plan. And then for another one, you can also see it for gathering requirements. This was an example of something I did related to AI adoption. So what were the feedbacks, bugs, and enhancements, and so on. So you can also organize it as you want. It doesn't have to be to do in progress done. Now we have Jira. Is anyone familiar with this? Yes? Tell me about it.
Yeah, so in my previous internship, we were doing like exercises, and on this we could have like all of the list of the exercises if we were done, if we couldn't do it, if we had any issues to fix.
Exactly. Yes. Anyone else has this Jira?
Yeah, in the software engineers, they are tracking the future development, like at what stage they are in, like in the developing or sprint or whatever, like the backlogs. Tracking.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah, and they are using it.
Used a lot in software industry, and it's similar to Trello. Let's say the fact that you have columns and tasks, but this one is not so flexible. This one does require you to have a to-do, in progress, and done. You can have several columns for to-do, for different statuses that are in to-do, several for in progress, several for in done. But that's the workflow that you're always going to have: to-do, in progress, and done. And you have their tasks. You can link it to other tasks if they're related, they're blocked, and so on. It's very complete, and you can then gather data from it. How long did my team take to tackle a task? When did we start it? When did we finish it? How long was it blocked? So you have you can identify many improvement areas there as well. So it's very, very, very common. And this is the third product from Atlassian that I wanted to show you guys. And now we have this on product board. I would be surprised if any of you has used this, but I'm ready to be surprised. So this one is not that commonly used, but still, it's pretty nice for project management specifically. So here you can follow your whole project since the inception of the project, since the product manager got the idea of what needs to be implemented, until it was released to the public, and even after that, like even the feedback part from the users. So this goes way beyond just implementation. You can have Jira for doing the work, but in product board it goes end to end for the quarterly planning, for managing releases, and so on. So you have product roadmaps. Also has AI, not so strong on the AI part though, but it's still a pretty nice tool to use for product management. Finally, we have this one, Quantif. Do you know OKRs? Have you heard from it? It's a framework defined by Google in order to align a whole company. It's called objectives and key results. So you have the CEO of the company defines them, and then it defines what's going to be the objective of the company and how we're going to be measuring it. And then the teams, it cascades down, and then the teams start to say, okay, I want to do this, this, and that, because this is aligned, this is my objective that has to be aligned with the CEO's objective. That way you guarantee that the whole company, it's aligned with what the top of the company decides. For tracking that part of OKRs is what you use Quantif. It's very, very common that companies use OKRs. So I think it was worth mentioning it. That's it. I wanted to mention Notion because I think many of you are familiar with Notion. Yes. I'm not. I'm not that familiar, but I think especially many iPhone users do use, many Apple users do use Notion. But in general, I think it's very complete. But you guys can tell me more about it because I don't use it that much. What do you guys use it for?
In my opinion, it's like not more user-friendly UI and kind of stuff. Like, I am also not like adopting this tool.
Okay.
I have tried, but yeah, it's not. I feel in my personal opinion, it's not user-friendly UI.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's a bit like it's very complicated for nothing sometimes. Maybe I'm just an old woman thinker preferring going on a Google Doc or a Word, but Notion, I think with all the little square you can put something inside. Sometimes you make a list, you don't even know how, and I feel outdated when I am on Notion.
Yeah.
I think so. I use Notion all through my undergrad. The good and bad part about Notion is that it's very powerful. So like it can like to a great extent do things that Excel can do, but then you already have Excel, and so it can do things that Google Doc can do, but you already have Google Doc. So like it really, and it also has like a lot of formats, like you can put a calendar, you can put a
Mhm.
board, everything. So that's the thing, like you sort of are stuck in that paralysis of how do you make best use of it, and that is also why the market for Notion templates works really well. Because a lot of these people just make templates,
Nice.
and they're like, you don't have to think about it. We know that there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Just look at this. If it works for you, you can just copy it, and then they can even sell it. So
Oh, that's good.
It's like both pros and it's very like divided
Yeah.
opinions on.
Yeah. Good. Anyone else? Any experience with Notion?
Also, sorry to interrupt, but you can actually publish websites through Notion, which is also
Mm.
a very
Yeah, exactly.
good thing. But
And also, as you can see here, you can also have columns and statuses and tasks for project management. So you can also use it for things similar to Jira or Trello. It's very complete. I know it's a very complete tool. It's not, I think it's widely used by people like individuals, not so much at the corporate level. But still, some companies do use it. So it's also nice to have it. I think we have time, but well, I have here also, they are introducing the agents as well. What can you do with the agents? Very similar to the other videos that we have seen. Still, if you have some time and you'd like to take a look at it, you can search it on YouTube. They announced this, I think it was in September last year. And it's also pretty nice. Now, let me go to how do we use all of these tools in a typical project workflow. So I'll give you one example of which tools we can use. So for brainstorming ideas, which tool can you use from the ones that we have checked before? Yes. 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 Here, of course. And can also use Trello for this because it's so nice with the columns that you can have one from new ideas, another column for ideas that have passed the filter, and another one for discarded ones, for instance. Then you define the project. What would you use for defining the project? Yes?
Jira.
Yes? Definition of project tracking? Yeah, for the whole project tracking, yes, absolutely. What if more of for the whole company? For making sure that the project is aligned with the company, so in that regard, yes. And you also need the documentation. So for documenting your project, you would use Confluence. And also, well, Figma for refining what it's going to be looking like. Then, I'll jump to, yes, the tracking and implementation. And of course, Jira. And what else could we use here? Nothing else. I didn't have anyone, but Notion can also be used here. Sorry. And then for the release, for managing the release, what you can do, giving us an example, you can use Microsoft 365 for having an agent that then publishes what has been released. For preparing the release notes, so you can pass it and then you send the newsletter with that information. For communication we have, talk about, yes, Teams, Slack, Zoom, all of them. And then for tracking the progress, also use Jira. You can use Product Board for your project tracking, Jira. And Quantive to make sure that you're aligned with the objective of your company. Questions? Now I want to give you guys some tips for, yes, tell me.
Like within the companies, they have like a consolidated tool, or they use different set of tools for each project or.
That's a very good question. Usually, yes, there is a consolidated tool. But it's not that uncommon that you have certain areas of the company that use one tool and then you have another one that are using another one. And this also costs a lot of money. And then it's complicated to manage.
Like following up there, is there a way to get these different tools in contact to avoid the overcosting in these tools, or they are just separated entities?
That's a very good question. What I think as of right now that is the best way to have them connected, interconnected, the connecting tissue is AI, because there isn't really that much of integration among many of these tools. But now with AI and with the MCP servers that you can talk to, let's say, all of these tools have an MCP server. So you can have your AI that talks to your Confluence and then can grab that data and create a Google Doc with it. That can be done now with AI. Before, you do have certain apps like such as Zapier. I don't know if you heard from it. It integrates many things. It's a pretty cool one. But right now, I think how the world is moving forward is toward having AI as this connecting tissue. And also, it's very common to have in tech companies to have teams as they chat for all of the employees, and the one that you get because you have Microsoft 365 and so on. But then to have the developers, the tech part of that company, using Slack, because we like Slack better. So that also happens as well. Yes, sorry.
If AI is the connecting tissue among all these different steps, how can you deal with sensitive information in a company? For example, like company, like I know my uncle works for Thales, like the radars, and it's for defense, and so this is a real issue in this company because
Absolutely.
They're talking like, shall we go back to paper and scrap paper to deal with this?
Absolutely. This is actually related to a question that he asked me before. And here's the thing, as of right now, many companies are actually partnering with OpenAI, with Anthropic for Claude, and with Google for Gemini. These providers of the main LLMs, they have already all of the agreements in place and are legally promising that they will take care of your data and that no one else can see it. And this is getting audited by all of the security companies, all of the security departments at the company. So it's also quite common that you arrive to a company, you then go to, I don't know, chat.openai.com, and then it doesn't open because it's blocked, because it's not allowed by the company. But companies are more and more providing an alternative chat. Usually it's ChatGPT behind like its appearance of that it's an internal chat, but it's a ChatGPT endpoint in the end in order to manage this. So this is a struggle. Let's say that's currently happening.
Kind of a bubble ChatGPT that is protected?
Yes, exactly. But again, it does happen, but you have to trust OpenAI with your enterprise account that everything is going to be closed for it. But that's what all companies are doing. So you have now the major companies running their security reports and security audits towards these LLMs, and if they trust it, then smaller companies, I think, will be trusting this as well. But there is a certain risk. Another option that companies have is to grab an open source LLM and host it. It isn't a possibility, but this also has other problems. It's costly because yes, you self-host, but then you have to pay for this hosting. You have to have people who take care of the configuration, making sure people who know about AI coding and they can prepare it to make sure that it can also get your data and provide it. And then once a new version or a breakthrough happens, you're going to have to update your whole system again. While if you're just in an agreement with OpenAI and they launched GPT 5.3 next week, you just switch the endpoint. Or if you actually have it to the latest version, it's going to come automatically. So it's a trick. I guess if you are very, very keen on security, you can self-host. At most companies, they are not self-hosting. They are rather trusting these big players and their enterprise accounts and agreements. Yes.
Sorry again.
Oh,
what does it
please.
mean, self-hosting?
That you have it in your servers at your company. So you're not sending it. Yeah, exactly. Your company has the servers and are paying for the electricity there and the cooling system and so on. And then you either develop or you grab an open source LLM and then you adapt it to it. But doing that adaptation is also not easy. You require people for doing this, and then you have to hire more people for taking care of your LLM. So it might look as if, oh, it's free because I'm self-hosting it, but it's not. So
there's also a very big opportunity cost to it because you're already in an industry that's highly competitive. And
exactly.
You can use that investment into building native security systems, which is
exactly
available, and you can easily be like, you can pull all that some person, you can still be lost, like you said.
Exactly. It's a very competitive environment, and this changes every 3 months. So this is actually going to be here. I'm going to tell you 4 principles, like for building your stack of tools that you're going to be using for your project management. So the first one, very important, start with the workflow, not with the tools. So think about what it is that you need to achieve. So what's the first step, second step, who is going to be involved, and then you find your tools around that. Don't start with the tool and adapt your workflow to it, but do it the other way around. Think about your process and then figure out which is the tool that you want to use. Second one, integration. But as I mentioned, now AI is taking care of a lot of this integration. But also, if you have a tool that, it's very nice for project management, but then it doesn't integrate with anything else, and the rest of the company is also using something else, it doesn't make sense for you to adopt it, even if it's that good. So think about the integration with other tools and other areas of the company when you consider the tool that you're going to be using. Third one, AI. It's not only about, oh yes, it has AI, all of these tools are now AI, but I encourage you to push its boundaries. See what it's able to, see where it's good and where it's bad. I've done it a lot with a NotebookLM, like seeing, does it work with spreadsheets? If it does, then how large can they be? And if it doesn't, then how do I split it? If it's a very large spreadsheet, what if I split it in 2? Then can it work or not? So I encourage you to try that, to test the limits of these tools. And then here's the thing, this is changing all the time. I gave a similar talk in October, and I had to update many of the slides today because it has changed. So the landscape of AI keeps changing all the time. Stay updated, and as what I mentioned, you take a look at Claude. So many cool things are happening now there, and this are my recommendations for you guys. Do you have any questions? All right, I think we can. Yes, please.
Last question. I know it's been mainly about the corporate environment, but for example, for the NotebookLM thing, how is it with data from third parties behind the paywall? For example, if I would want to use it for a summary of a book, but the book is something I would have to pay for, would it be legal to still use it or not?
I mean, here's the thing: if you already paid for the book and you have it, and you want to put it there in your own NotebookLM and you're not sharing it, then yes, it shouldn't be any problem. Exactly.
If it's like an AI
no, it's you. This NotebookLM, it's only going to be for you and reading your things, and it's not learning from it. So yes, you shouldn't have any problems with it because it's yours. Now, don't share it or don't tell anyone that you're sharing it. But yes, and then for paywall content, NotebookLM, you can tell it to deep research and to add web sources to increase what you're covering, what it is that you want to NotebookLM to be about. But there are some pages that it doesn't go in. So no paywalls, and also certain pages where it's stated they have no chatbot, then it doesn't go in, it doesn't add them, and you cannot use them as sources.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Anything else? Okay, then let's do a quick activity. Which I'm sure that's what you want to do here at this time. But let's do 10 minutes, maybe something real quick. So I know you guys are already in teams, so I want you to go in your teams and to think about a personal project. Doesn't have to be real. It could be a real one. Doesn't have to be. Create a Trello account so you guys start using it, and create a new board for this project that you're going to be having. Create your board, create your columns, depending on the project that you're going to be choosing, and select 3 tools that we have talked about. You have 10 minutes for this. After that, you're going to be sharing with the rest of the group which were the tools that you use. Clear?
You know your teams, right? Oh, we have teams? Oh, you do not know your teams?
Oh.
They don't know their teams yet.
But then, yeah, you guys are per table. But in your case, let's bring 1 or 2 people to the front row, let's say.
Yeah.
And the rest of you guys can do it like with your own table. So. Perfect.